Hey, what's going on, guys? The Langbanger here. I have a new profile, and I wanted to go over Burning Abyss Chaos. So, Chaos, I've said this countless times, definitely just one of my favorite concepts of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Hence why I built this. So we did have Graph and Seer go to 3. I don't think it was last format, but a format before that. So it's just been something that I've wanted to build for some time now. So I must say, in regards to Burning Abyss and Chaos, you could potentially use some better cards in here, but honestly, this is just, the cards that I had laying about. So I just want to let you know, up front on that. I've been trying to think of other decks that I can, use or build using Chaos Monsters. So, just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, let's just go into it, shall we? So, starting out, onto, I guess, the dark, you have 3 tour guide, which I don't even know when this went back to 3, but I have not done a profile while this has been at 3, so it's kind of been a long time coming. So you have 3 Seer, 3 Graph, you have 2 Rubik, you have 2 Forfa, you have a Libic, or 2 Libic, I'm sorry, Alec, Barbar, and Calcab. So some of these aren't the best in the world, like, the one-ofs. You just need it for the extra name, because just with the roles of Burning Abyss, you can't just keep doing card effects and summoning and, having things happen. So you just need more bodies. I actually really do love Rubik. Again, this could just be my, old school mentality, but I just think that Virgil is a hell of a card, and then it also just lets me go into another light. It's also really cool that Dante is a light, so that's kind of why I had that merger of Burning Abyss and Chaos Monsters. So those are all the darks, I believe, for non-bosses. Onto the lights, I have Thunder Dragon. That's random. It's just one of my favorite cards. It's just very easy to get the 3 lights just like that. And yeah, not much else can be or needs to be said there. I have 3 Effect Veiler. So I'm not using a lot of hand traps. I'm pretty much just going with the concept of just spew out your hand and just kind of see what sort of board. But at the same time, just in case you can't finish off the opponent, you do have Effect Veiler, and I'm just sticking with the light and dark theme also. So feel free to, add in Ash Blossom, but I just tried to stay as, close as I could to the theme. Then the last one, I'm not even going to try and say its name, but it is a level 3 Light Fiend Tuner. So you can actually get that off Tour Guide, and my thought process on that was, I could just go Tour Guide, grab this, and then I would just instantly have a Dark and Light if I needed to go that route. So it's not really the best card in the world. The other thing that I was going to use was actually Sangin, because Sangin's effect has changed over the years, or decades, if you even want to go that far. It's just pretty cool that you can grab anything, and you just gotta wait to use the effect, but I just decided to use that. So on to the Chaos Monsters, or the bosses. You have 3 Levianeer, you have 2 Chaos Creator, and you have 2 Blackluster Soldier. So I didn't want to overdo it too much, plus we have ways to search these. You could use Chaos Emperor Dragon, Chaos Emperor Armageddon, Chaos Sorcerer, Chaos Betrayer, there's Thunder Dragon Duo. I mean, there's a lot of different Chaos dudes. They all just say, you banish a dark and a light, summon it, or, banish 7 from your graveyard to bring it out. So that's just what I decided to go with. I don't know how good Chaos Creator is in this. I mean, you would just think, like, in theory, there's some value because you're banishing quite a bit, and then you can just resummon, and, hopefully you can extend your plays. Not sure. Maybe I'll switch out a Chaos Creator for a Blackluster Soldier. So I don't care what anyone says. I mean, this card can still end games. I'm not saying the second you draw it, you win or anything. You used to be able to do that kind of back in the game. Really, get yourself ahead. But I like it. So onto the spells. really light. 3 Chaos Space, 3 Allure of Darkness, and 2 Plotted Desires. So I will say, and this is just more so me not being too familiar with the meta and what old decks, people are using right now, you could definitely use super polymerization in this deck. So I feel like you could definitely find the room in the extra deck for your targets, and you have so many darks. I know that a lot of the super poly targets say that you need darks to some degree, right? So that could definitely fit. The thing with Burning Abyss, I mean, Fiendish Rhino Warrior, that's a really old card, but that was just one of those cards that would kind of help fortify your board, I guess, because, your Burning Abyss guys pretty much just say, if you have something other than a Burning Abyss, it blows up, and, that kind of sucks. So, you can like discard, right? But then it's like you may not be able to do the effect, or like it'll blow up. So I don't kind of didn't see too much value in that, and I feel like if I did want to use Super Poly, I'd really have to change up the build. So that's just kind of my thought process. And then no traps. So going into the extra deck, going into the Exceeds first, and I do not own any Zeuses, so if you do have any, certainly add those. So I have 3 Dante, and then Beatrice, crazy looking gold rare, and a Phantom Knights at Breaksword. So I feel like this is pretty good coverage here. I don't really think you need anything else. I was going to put in Phantom Knight Alucard, or Ghost Trick Alucard, sorry. I just decided not to use it. So those are the Exceeds I'm going with. Again, if you have Zeus, you definitely want to add that, because if you use Exceeds, you use Zeus. Simple enough. Onto the links, you have 2 Cherubini. You have 1 Bujin Arashima, you have Cross Sheep, you have Beat Cop, you have Nightmare Unicorn, and IP Masquerena. So I don't know how good Beat Cop is. I mean, ideally you would think, you could save a card. And then I don't know how good Cross Sheep is either, because ideally my thought process was summon this, and then if I get to do something, whether Synchro or Exceed, right, then I would get some sort of effect, but I don't know how frequently that would go off. So right there alone, if you did want to do Super Poly in the targets, those are probably 2 targets you can cut out. IP Masquerena, I think that's pretty good, just so that, I don't want to say surprise your opponent, but, if you need to, Unicorn, Dante, of course, just the king, the prince, Phantom Knight Breaksword, just a generic card effect, just to, clear something on the board. Onto then the Synchros. So this is like the most Synchros I've used in literally a decade. I mean, it's not that much, but, so I have 2 Virgil, and then I have 1 Brionic. So I honestly feel like there's probably a really good level 6 Synchro that I'm not thinking of, and I'm not using it, or I just couldn't find it. But I just think that's really beneficial. So Virgil and Brionic. Just because Brionic's effect was neutered doesn't mean it's not a good card. I mean, just being able to bounce, Virgil, controlling, I think this is a pretty solid extra deck. Probably, again, just with the Zeuses. I was going to go with a Link 4, but I don't know really how often you'd be able to climb in there, or climb up to that, just because Burning Abysses kind of do hinder you in ways. So, I don't want to say that this deck has really powerful plays, per se. You can definitely have a pretty decent board, but you wouldn't have something like your opponent just straight up can't beat. And then, basically I'm just thinking, oh, it comes to my turn, drop some Chaos Monsters. So that's kind of my thought process. So this is definitely just a fun deck. I'm not suggesting to go take us to any tournaments or anything, but, if you do, I think you would have a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day. Peace.